Our princess is in another castle. Really? Really? Damn it, Toad! Let me take you guys back to the past.
21 gigawatts!
Well, not to the past literally. Anyhow, video games were much different 30 years ago. And you're probably wondering why. Well, we shall talk about video games back in the 1980s. Back then, Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and even the Commodore 64 were the popular video games back then. But suddenly something terrible happened. In 1983, there was a North American video game crash. So after the video game crash, Nintendo decided to bring their Nintendo Entertainment System to North America, and was regarded as one of the most successful video game launches of all time. Super Mario Bros. Made its debut in one of their launches, and is considered one of the greatest games of all time. But even before Super Mario Bros., Mario was actually a pretty popular video game character, appearing in Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Mario Bros. But when Super Mario Bros. Came out, it exceeded everyone's expectations and was something very innovative. And just an interesting fact, Super Mario Bros. Was originally supposed to be a side-scrolling shooter. Could you imagine Mario in a shooting game?
Let's go!
Now the true question remains, how does the game play? Well, it plays like a smooth, responsive, clear, amazing, phenomenal, stupendous, amazing, clear. And finally, that explains why Bowser can have 7 Koopa children. Oh, I'm sorry, I went a little bit off topic. Well, let's get back to the gameplay. Well, first thing is first, when you go to the title screen, you have the choice between 1-player or 2-player. Now, 2-player isn't that much different. You control Mario's brother Luigi, and Luigi in this game plays similar to Mario. It isn't until Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels where Luigi actually jumps a little bit higher than Mario. The game is divided up into 4 levels with 8 worlds. And let me say, the gameplay is rather simple. You press the A button to jump and the B button to run. When you start the game, you're greeted with 3 lives. Now there's a variety of ways that Mario can die. If you touch a Goomba, or if you fall off a pitfall, you die, and even if the timer runs out, you die as well. When you lose all your lives, the game is over. There are no continues whatsoever. I died in Super Mario Bros. And there's no continues? Even though you can lose lives in Super Mario Bros., there are ways you can gain additional lives. In some of the levels of the game, you can get some 1-up mushrooms, and when you collect 100 coins, you get an extra life. There's usually coins scattered across the level, so finding them should be very easy. As for the controls themselves, they are very smooth and responsive, and there's a bunch of levels that I enjoy. One of my favorites has to be 8-3. I really like the design of the level, and they really show no mercy with the Hammer Brothers. I mean, I'm serious, they put these guys in the most inconsistent spaces possible. They really show no mercy on the last world. Anyhow, another cool level on this game has to be 4-3. The design of the tree trunks was just very enjoyable, and the level itself had something interesting to it. There's not a single level I dislike in this game. The gameplay is flawless, and there's so many good things about it. As for the difficulty itself, I did say that the last world can give you a lot of trouble, but the spike in difficulty is very consistent. It's like how a video game should be, easy in the beginning and hard at the end, and Super Mario Bros. Does that perfectly. Also, throughout your journey, you can collect mushrooms, fire flowers, and starmen. Now for the mushroom, it makes you Big Mario, which means that you take 2 hits to kill instead of 1, which is very useful. If you go even further beyond that, there's Fire Mario, and you can shoot fireballs against any enemy. Some enemies are resistant to them. There's also the Starman, which makes you invincible for a short period of time. And all these power-ups were very good and made the game a lot of fun. There's also a wide variety of enemies in this game. There's the Goombas, you jump on them once in their history. There's the Koopas, you jump on them once, they fly away from you. And also they might hit a pipe and they might fly back at you, so you gotta be careful. There's also the Buzzy Beetles, which are similar to the Koopas, but if you use fireballs against them, they are immune, so you gotta be really careful. There's the Lakitus that throw their spinies of death. And then there's the Hammer Brothers, which are the most annoying enemies in this game. I gotta say, just like I said before, they really put them in the most inconsistent spots. Look at 8-4, they put it right before Bowser. That was the only thing I didn't like about this game, was the placement of some enemies like this. And as for the graphics, this is a very early NES game. It came out in 1985, and let me say the graphics look very simple, but they look very good for what they are, and Nintendo did a good job making this game look classic. And as for the music, oh my gosh, all the music you hear in this game makes return in later Mario games as well, and let me say the music is just phenomenal. There was also a wide variety of bonuses in this game. There was the Minus World, which was memorable, and then there was the Warp Zones, which means you can warp later in the game, making the game much shorter. And let me say, for me playing that the first time around, that was a cool bonus. So what are my final thoughts about Super Mario Bros.? It single-handedly revolutionized the video game industry, with phenomenal gameplay, great sound, a great show of enemies, and there's so much in this game that will leave you hanging for more. I give Super Mario Bros. A 10 out of 10. I believe it deserves that score. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'm out.